Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Dave Fox Home Remodeling Show. I'm Gary Demas, and Jamie's with me this morning. So, Jamie, we're just really glad to be working in Columbus, aren't we? And it's a great place to do business, good people, a lot of various types of industry, strong financial climate.
Yeah, and it's just a good community to work in general. I feel like even inner industries, the construction industry, the restaurant industry, the, small boutique industry, everyone really supports each other.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yep. So we like being here in Columbus. It's been great to our company, and we've really grown a lot over the years.
Yes.
Dramatically. So we thank the good people of the city of Columbus for that.
Yeah.
So last week, I thought we had I enjoyed doing that show on the current state of affairs because we are in such a different scenario now.
Yeah, I feel like everything you can say, well, it depends, or, I don't know, or there's so much volatility in everything we do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot going on. If you happen to miss that show, then shame on you. No, no, you can go, obviously not shame on you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We
still support you.
We didn't play it on the right day that they were able to listen.
Yes,
so
it was a holiday weekend. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yep, Memorial Day. And I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. The weather was really decent.
Yeah, turned around okay.
Yep. But anyhow, that show is available at davefoxradio.com, in case you didn't know that.
Yes, or on whatever podcast platform you listen to.
True. Yep. So again, that's davefoxradio.com. There you can find all of our previously broadcast shows. So today we have an interesting topic too, which is a very practical one, I think, for anyone that is going through a remodel. And if you have been through a major remodel recently, you can kind of compare notes and see if we're giving good advice to people that are about to experience that.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jamie, you just said the title of our show, and I don't think I can repeat that, so I'll let you do that.
Okay. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about dealing with a remodel and living to tell about it.
Okay.
So this is kind of all about the preparing for a remodel and all the steps you should go through. And the different types of remodel require different types of preparation and kind of what that takes.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to hit a lot of the different types of remodels and give you some pointers on how to get through it. If you've been through it, then it should be interesting listening for you.
Yeah, a little walk down memory lane.
Yeah. So a major remodel is a major event for the whole family.
Yeah.
And it's something that can take a lot of patience, sometimes a lot of gritting your teeth, especially through the dirty phases. But in the end, it's totally worth it, and you get to enjoy that for many years and show it off to all your friends and neighbors, and that's when the reward comes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to start with? What room?
Well, I think the most trying room, or one of the most trying rooms to live through a remodel with and get in preparation with, would be a kitchen. That's the first one that comes to mind, is how do you live without your kitchen for several months, really? And I think the preparation that goes into that one requires the most creativity and kind of planning, I would say. So let's start big.
Okay. The kitchen, the heart of the home. It's where everyone goes for snacks and conversation and to see what mom's cooking for dinner and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the time of year makes a difference too, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, right now is kind of that ideal time to really be doing a kitchen remodel. Yeah. But of course, ideal time is relative. It's different for everybody.
Yep. Okay. So let's talk about right now or this season.
Yeah.
Going into summer.
Yep. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind with a summer remodel is the fact that you can grill. That makes the whole process kind of a lot easier, because you generally spend a lot of your time of the summer cooking outdoors, regardless of how torn up or not your kitchen is.
Yes.
But I think a couple of factors that might play into that is, I know, we have friends that have a pool. And they're constantly entertaining in the summer. I mean, there's never a day or weekend that goes by that they don't have people at their home. So for that scenario, I bet it would actually be the opposite, that they'd rather have a kitchen remodel done in the winter because they spend so much time at their home in the summer. So again, different circumstances can kind of attribute to when the best time might be for you, or maybe you're a snowbird and for the winter you go down to Florida or somewhere else warm for the winter and your house is sitting there empty. That's a great time for a remodel if it's going to be empty. But
absolutely.
But yeah, the summertime, being able to grill, and we tend to go out to eat a little bit more and sit on a patio and just enjoy the outdoors a little bit more. You spend a lot less time at home in the summer.
Yeah. So for Memorial Day, my wife and I went over to my daughter Tiffany's, who has 6 grandchildren.
Yes.
That lived with us for 5 years.
Oh my.
So they got this giant griddle. And I mean, the thing is humongous. It's like what you'd see in a restaurant. It was outside. It was a gas-fired griddle. And so Tiffany's husband was cooking like stir-fry stuff. He had veggies on there, chicken, mushrooms, that kind of stuff, and filled that whole thing up. And it cooked fast. It was fun. It was outside, kept a lot of the mess outside. So even though their kitchen is functioning, it was nice to keep all that mess outside.
Yeah,
but it was
sure.
Really...
Sounds like a hibachi. Where they cook on your table, kind of?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kind of like going into a Japanese steakhouse or something with this great big thing. Yeah. So they put that to good use. But the grills, the griddles outside definitely works well. And there's so many different things you can cook outside as well.
Yeah, and I feel like one somewhat fortunate trend for remodeling that's going on now is the all the different appliances in a kitchen that are not built in, like an air fryer.
Yeah.
And there's all those different little kind of mechanisms, and it's kind of the trend right now is to just cook it in the fryer and things like that. And
or the Instapot. Right?
The Instapot, that's the other one I was thinking of. I don't cook that. Do you cook? Does Linda cook like that? Does she use those?
Not that much.
Not that much?
No.
People love them, and whenever I'm at someone else's house, and they make something in it, they're always really good. I have a friend that makes like cauliflower wings in their kind of Instapot, and it seems very easy, but I've just never been one to cook that way.
Sounds good and healthy.
I know, right? But it's kind of a good trend for living through a remodel. Yeah. And then, of course, there's a crock pot, which I think for winter purposes is almost like your equivalent to a grill. You end up cooking a lot of crock pot meals and things like that, and a lot of chili.
Yep. But, so a lot of different ways to cook, hot plate even. Just a basic hot plate with a pan and some eggs, and bingo, you got something to eat, an omelet or who knows what. But cooking, eating is a challenge. And then there's some people even that we build beautiful kitchens for that eat out most of the time anyways.
Right, yes.
So that always works,
Lots of, thank goodness for Uber Eats, right?
And some really good canned soups and stuff that you don't feel like doing anything. You just want a quick, easy meal. Yeah. That works too.
I know. We have this frozen vegetable lo mein that we get at Costco. It's, but my son plays club soccer. So he has practice 2 to 3 nights a week, and it's always at 5, starts at 5:15. So we got to leave the house at 5, which with 3 kids, getting them home fed and one of them out the door into soccer practice is always a challenge. So my husband and I usually eat inhale something who's ever going, and those are our go-to, and it's just a pop in the microwave for 3 minutes, and it's vegetable lo mein, and you're done.
So definitely if you're doing a major kitchen remodel, have some of that really easy quick food ready. At the time you might think, well, I don't really want that, but believe me, when you're at the heart of it, when you're in the middle of it, and you just don't want to spend time cooking something, just open a can or unfreeze something and bingo.
Give yourself some grace and eat out when you want to eat out, and eat simple when you want to eat simple.
That's right. Yep, have options available. Because remodeling does require us to have options. We're kind of taken out of our comfort zone and our normal daily routines. And life becomes a little different, and it can be very easily accomplished if you plan for it and are prepared for it. Both physically and emotionally. Yep. So kitchen is a huge remodel in a home. It's very invasive, but you can get through it. We're going to talk a little more about kitchen right after the break. Today, our topic is surviving a remodel, or preparing for a remodel and living afterwards, or what did you say, Jimmy?
Dealing with a remodel and living to tell about it.
That sounds better. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good title for a podcast or a radio show.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, if any of our listeners, if you're just tuning in, that's our topic today. And maybe you've been through a major remodel and you can think of a lot of things you wish you would have done differently, or some things that you learned along the way. So as we chat about it, I'm sure it'll bring back some memories. But if you have not lived through a major remodel, then this is going to be some good information for you just to prepare, because it is a life-changing experience. Good
I like
and
how you
bad.
chuckle
Well,
when you
let's
say
say
that.
bad and good.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
The good part is when it's all done, you can live in it, enjoy it for many years, and it changes
Yeah.
your life in a good way.
Well, it's like anything else. When you're living through it, it feels like it's just taking over your life and it's never going to end. But then once you're beyond it, it feels like such a little blip in time.
Yeah.
And you almost, it's endearing to look back on.
Yeah. It's interesting. The older I get, the more, there's so many things we face in life that we know it's going to be a long, drawn out process. I hate having to wait through this to get whatever my goal is. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're studying for a new level in your business, or trying to pass a test, or who knows what.
Yeah.
But it's a process. You got to work your way through it. And in the middle of it, you think, oh my gosh, is this really worth it? But then it's done. You achieve whatever you wanted to achieve, and that's with you for the rest of your life. And it's all totally worth it. And I think that's the way a remodel is. I mean, nobody looks forward to it except the kids have exciting times sometimes watching things go together. But the reward at the end, when all the pain is gone, is so worth it. So, if you're thinking about it or afraid of it, go ahead and take the plunge, get through it, and you'll enjoy it, and your family will enjoy it for many years.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what else do we need to talk about in the kitchen, Jamie?
Well, so there's 8 main steps to kind of surviving your kitchen remodel. The first step is mental prep. So believe it or not, that is probably one of the hardest parts, really, is to get in the mindset. You almost really need to get in the camping mindset. Like, you're going camping, you're packing up a camper, you're going to be living out of a suitcase kind of a mindset. Mm-hmm. The men and children usually kind of enjoy the process. Women, stay strong. Yeah. You'll get through. But it's a different mindset. You're not going to be able to, well, you'll be able to, but you're not going to enjoy entertaining for a long time. So before you start packing everything up, have one last dinner party, cook your favorite meal that you won't be able to cook, and buckle up.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm the kind of guy, at least I think I am, where I don't have to have everything just right. People are people, and when I don't mind having friends over and something's wrong with this or that. My wife, not so much that way at all. I mean, it's like, Gary, you need to get this done before we have any more people over. Okay, honey, I will work on to get that done. So I'm sure a lot of people out there that way. So remodeling is a time where your house is tore up, it's dirty. The guys might want to have their buddies over, and the wives are probably saying, don't you dare,
Right, yeah. Yes. Well, at a certain point, it gets fun to show people when there's some progress going on. But, as we've talked about before on the show with the emotional roller coaster, there's parts of the project that are not as visually appealing or fun to show people. Yep. But so definitely getting into that kind of camping mindset, the mental prep of it. And then another really big, important piece is going to be picking a space to be your temporary kitchen. This is very dependent on your home and kind of what you have outside of your active kitchen and the size of your home. Makes a lot of these challenges a little bit different. But a lot of clients might have a finished basement with a bar, with a wet bar. That makes a great secondary kitchen or temporary kitchen during the process. Somewhere that you have a sink, running water, you're going to want those things at least somewhat accessible. So, maybe your only other running water is a kind of a slop sink in your laundry room, or whatever the case is. You're going to want to plan around being able to do dishes. Even though if you buy all the paper plates and plastic silverware in the world, you're going to need to wash some things. Yeah. And, kind of prioritizing the things that you're not able to live without. So if it's your coffee. You got to have your coffee maker, your special setup, whatever. In our case, that would be a whole room to itself. But anyways, you got to pick kind of what's really important to you and what you can't live without and kind of plan around that. So, if you're going to do the coffee and it takes water every morning, well, does it make most sense to have that near a sink, or do you want to get kind of a jug of water that you always keep nearby, that sort of thing? And kind of thinking through all the steps of your day. It probably wouldn't even hurt to, as you're prepping and getting ready for a remodel, to kind of keep an ongoing list of the things that you do in a day. So first thing you do is make the coffee, then maybe you heat up your breakfast, and maybe you use the microwave. Great. That's an easy appliance to move for the most part. Are microwaves that are built in, are they also able to be not built in? If you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
can you move those?
There are some built-in units that, like a wall oven unit, that are made to go in a space, and they have no shroud around them, or no casing around them. So that would be dangerous to have them loose. But we used to see a lot of microwaves that were installed above a cooktop, a range hood, which we don't really like using those that much. But if you have one of those, they could be, I think, safely used, because they do have a full encased covering.
Yeah. So I think those would be easy then to probably relocate to a temporary kitchen space. Yeah, it's a
possibility. Or a lot of times your remodeler might have a microwave that you can use. While you're...
Yeah, they also aren't terribly expensive, especially if you're getting a kind of a smaller one for just temporary use.
When you talk about the temporary kitchen, some houses lend themselves to that, others don't. It might be a very tiny house. There may just be no place. You might have to stick the refrigerator in the dining room or in the family room or living room or who knows what.
Right.
Because we always will take the refrigerator typically and move it to a different location while we're working on the kitchen.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a refrigerator that's running.
Right.
So that's a very minimal temporary kitchen would be at least moving the refrigerator, and in a lot of cases we may not set up a temporary range or oven. We might just use a hot plate or a microwave or whatever. Some people, where cooking is much more important to them, we might go to a little more lengths to set up a temporary kitchen. Sometimes we've even done it in a basement and move a range down there. So there's a little extra expense in that, but to some people it's worth it, because you figure you're going through a 10, 12, 14-week process.
Yeah.
It might be worthwhile to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, you have to prioritize what appliances you do want to move, because it's hard to move everything, for me, and I know you're kind of a smoothie maker every day. That's probably something I would just not do during that time period. I would just find my favorite smoothie shop.
That would be easy to do.
I think that one I would skip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you make a smoothie every day too, right?
Yeah, almost every day. But I think I would probably skip the smoothie.
Yeah.
The coffee would take priority. And then a microwave, all my kids eat are chicken nuggets. So they'd be good for 14 weeks with a microwave.
There's always those standbys that are easy to make.
Right, yeah. But, just kind of prioritizing, not being able to maybe utilize every appliance and every single thing that you've always done. You might need to change some things. And you never know, maybe you'll change something to a way that you actually like better, or find something new that becomes a staple. But I think planning in general is helpful. So saying, let's every Thursday or every Monday and Thursday we'll bring in food, and every Wednesday we'll do a simple dinner.
That's a great idea. And just communicate that to the whole family so everybody's on the same page and their expectations are managed that way.
Yeah, I think coming up with a schedule, it makes it go faster too.
Yep. So really just our mindsets, what we're expecting, what we plan, what we know we're up against, you can plan through that and communicate that to the whole team. You're being your family, and then you can all get through it and manage through it, and it'll be just fine. And when it's done, you're going to love it so much. You're going to have all your friends and neighbors over. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So today, Jamie, our subject is what? Go ahead.
Dealing with a remodel and living to tell about it.
That's right, living to tell about it. And we've both done it, and we're here to tell about it.
Yes.
Personally, and also in many hundreds of people's homes.
Yeah, just a few times we've seen people live through this.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's always a great success story at the end. So if you're thinking about this, or maybe you've got a scheduled remodel already, hopefully with Dave Fox Design Build Remodelers, because you'll have a great experience then. But if not, either way, you'll have some good stuff that you learn from this broadcast that will help you to get through a major remodel, which is a life-changing experience.
Yes.
Okay, so Jamie, we dealt with kitchens in the first two segments. Obviously, the kitchen is the major home, or major room in the home. It's the heart of the home, so everybody goes to cook, to eat, to socialize, you name it. Where are we headed now?
So how about the master bathroom? Or a bathroom in your house?
Bathroom?
Yeah, any bathroom in
Sure.
your house. I think that's another kind of big one that can really impact your day-to-day life. I mean, they all do, but especially kitchen, bathroom, those are very high-function spaces in the home that are hard to live without.
Yeah.
Fortunately, in Columbus, I would say most homes have more than one bathroom.
Yes.
Which is pretty fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're remodeling a bathroom, I mean, we've done a few, where there's only one bathroom in the home.
Yes.
And that can be challenging.
Yes.
Most often there's two or more. But even if there's two or more, it's going to change people's routines, right?
Yeah.
Because you're used to, getting in the bathroom a certain time of day. And if you have 2 or 3 baths, you're usually not, competing with somebody. You've got your routines you go through, your bathroom time, preparing yourself. It's a very special time, and it's when you get yourself ready for the day or at the end of the day. So you've got that routine that's going to be disrupted because you're going to be sharing that time and that space with other family members. So you have to kind of come up with a plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And not only the plan for the time, but the plan for your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't have too much stuff.
No, it's shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got to figure how you're going to store all of this stuff, because you can't very well put everything on the counter.
Yeah.
If everyone puts everything on the counter of this one bathroom that everyone in your household is sharing, that's going to cause a lot of problems. So, I always think back to kind of the dorm days when you had your little caddy that you'd bring down to the communal baths and showers and things like that in the dorm house, or even in my sorority house. Having to live like that, it's that mindset. You got to get back into the college days and get yourself a caddy and put everything that you need kind of in that caddy. Even maybe you don't leave everybody's shampoo in the shower, whichever one you're all using. If you have a large family and a lot of different tastes and needs, it might be best to just give everybody a caddy and do that way. But I think when it's somewhat like packing for a vacation. If you are taking a carry-on, on the plane, and you're only allowed to have the certain ounce of items, there's the restriction on how much liquid you can bring, and you kind of have to prioritize. Like, okay, do I need this face cream for this trip? Okay, it's 5 days. Could I live without it? You kind of have to go through that.
Now, we're not going to get their bathroom remodeled in 5 days.
No, we're not. No, it's a lot longer than that. I suggest bringing the face cream. But anyway, you got to kind of prioritize. Maybe you don't change up your routine as much. You find one that you're going to stick with for the whole, time that you're moving and things like that. But just to kind of minimize what you need for those weeks. Yeah.
And then coordinating times with your family members, right? Because maybe if you're redoing your master bathroom, you might be sharing with the kids' bath, right? They've got their routines, and you're going to have to coordinate with them and get them on board with that.
Yeah.
So with some pre-planning and management, time management, managing who's going to be in where, when, definitely will help things go smoother.
Yeah.
So you've got that to deal with, but you're also... a lot of times we'd be up in a hallway on the second floor.
Yeah.
So there's a master bathroom up there. There's a hall bath. There might be a Jack and Jill bath. And so our guys are going to be going up and down, getting into the house. We're going to have, protection down. We're going to have floor protection, maybe some Visqueen wall protection. If there's stair railings, we're going to have protection over the railings. So it's just going to change the whole the whole place is going to look different and act different.
Yes.
And
it doesn't just affect your master
you're
bathroom.
going to feel like you're in a construction zone. And that's even if it's not your bathroom that's being remodeled, you're going to be living through that.
Well, and even the thought process of, for any project that we do, really, typically materials are being held in the garage, and any cutting that needs done is being done most likely in a garage. We're going to need storage space to keep tools there, to keep product there, things like that. I mean, we have a warehouse, but eventually they come to your house. And planning out even just that aspect of things, the fact that probably if you have a 2-car garage and you're used to putting both cars in the garage, you're going to need to make some adjustments, and most likely one or both of you is going to have to park in the driveway. And then speaking of the driveway, there's probably going to be a dumpster there for at least part of the process.
Yeah, it's always going to be my car that's not in the garage, not my wife's.
Well, of course.
Yeah, guys, just so you know.
Yes. But it stretches a lot further than the room that we're just working on, and kind of keep getting all of that in mind. Things that you not only need to move out and store, but thinking of the small houses in this instance, when you need to move out of somewhere, you need somewhere to put all of that stuff. So there's going to be more people in your home, more stuff out of that room, and more stuff coming in. And so you're going to have a lot of stuff everywhere. It's not going to just be disrupted in that room. Yeah. Even a bathroom, once you box it all up, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, when you think about that, so we're sharing bathrooms now, right?
Yes.
So maybe the master bathroom is being remodeled, so mom and dad are sharing the kids' bath. Now, do they think the kids' bath is always kept clean once they're done?
If it's anything like my kids' bath, there's toothpaste everywhere. I don't understand what happens to the toothpaste, but it's everywhere.
I think some understanding on what level of cleanup is going to happen when you're done in the bathroom might be carried out before all this happens, right? So expectations again are being set.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't think mom and dad are going to appreciate going into a teen's bath that is just a total mess,
Yes.
So something to think about and pre-plan before your bath remodel. Now, doing a hall bath, okay, now the teens are in using mom and dad's bath, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, again, some communication there, pre-planning and managing expectations will be important.
Yeah, maybe a chore chart, perhaps.
Okay, sure. That works.
Yes. But definitely kind of dividing up the time, the space, I think having kind of a family meeting and talking through the expectations and what it's going to look like, and really kind of making sure not just you're in the right mindset, but your whole family is in the right mindset.
That's right. And if you families need any help with that, Jamie comes out and does a little family meeting with you all and just gets you right there, right, Jamie?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Okay. All right, let me know how that goes, right?
Okay. Now, if I ever need that done in my home, though, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh. I can't share a bathroom with Everly.
All right.
But,
okay.
Yes.
So today we're just talking about some of the challenges and helping people prepare for going through a major remodel, because a major remodel is very intrusive and it will affect your home, your lifestyle, everything that's happening in your residence while that remodel is going on. And it will take a little while, sorry to tell you, but we'd like to be honest with people up front and, again, to help them prepare and know what to expect. So we're going to be back right after this break. Okay, Jamie, you just mentioned something during the break that's really important when you're going through a remodel, and that is adjoining walls and rooms.
Yes.
Because I remember many years ago, I was working in an attic space, and some people were putting a new floor down up there. I was putting a new floor down for the people. And that's in my days when I was out there being a carpenter, swinging a hammer, which I love those days.
Yes.
So we were up there nailing down some plywood sheathing, and the homeowner came up and said, "Could you not nail so hard?" Because it was noisy down there. And wow, how do I do that? Maybe I'll find myself a rubber hammer or something.
Yeah.
Those nails are kind of hard. You got to kind of beat them to get them in. But, when you're remodeling, you are using a hammer. You're using a screwdriver, you're using saws, using all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
it does create vibrations and noise in the walls. So if you have beautiful photographs or beautiful, nice glass vases on a shelf on an adjacent wall, that's something you really got to watch for, because the guys on the other side of that wall don't see what's,
Yeah.
fragile. And one of the things we always like to communicate to the homeowners before we start a remodel is just this, that they need to take into consideration all the adjacent walls. Are there pictures? Are there anything fragile that, vibration could knock them off the wall? That's definitely an important thing to take care of.
Yeah, and honestly, almost really anywhere in your home, if there's something that's very valuable to you or not replaceable to you, just pack it up.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to be having a remodel done, just pack it up.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you're having your kitchen done and there's your grandmother's vase in your bedroom above it, pack it up. I think you can't go wrong packing too much stuff up. It's better to go wrong that way than the alternative.
Yeah. When you mentioned valuables, obviously we have our people and subcontractors working in people's homes.
Yeah.
And we are a very trustworthy company, and we hire very trustworthy people, and our subcontractors, we vet them and have worked with them a long time, and we trust all these people. But there's about 3 times in my career where something came up missing in someone's home.
Oh.
So who is the likely suspect? It's the remodeling company.
Yeah.
They're in there working in the home. The homeowner's a lot of times not there during the day. And that is such a terrible position to be in.
Yeah.
Because how can you explain or, that our people would not do that?
Yeah.
But what do you do? I mean,
Right.
Something came up missing. It's valuable. It's precious. And oh my gosh, it's the worst thing on earth I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Is just getting a phone call saying someone stole $200 or who knows what.
Yeah. That's
so
hard.
we hate being put in that position. So
Yes.
please, any valuables. I think, honestly, Jamie, I think people have tested us before by leaving a $20 bill on a dresser or something.
Oh, I don't
And-
doubt it. Yeah. I bet.
And
so.
that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
because we're new people, and even though we have a great reputation, and any remodeler you're working with, you want to make sure it's people that you trust. And there's a lot of great remodelers in town. But it's just such an awkward thing to have happen. So, gosh, I would encourage you, if you have anything valuable, put it away. Put it out of
Even
sight.
if you're right. Even if it's not breakable, if you have a watch collection, put it in a safe or put it in storage. You don't want to have that worry or conversation.
Yeah.
Because it can also taint a relationship. If you end up finding out you were wrong
True.
and, your son grabbed that watch and thought he could wear it, and you find out later, that relationship is already kind of torn, that you showed that lack of trust or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think, any valuable item, breakable or not, just.
And while we're talking about relationships, it reminds me that, we have a lot of different people working in people's homes, and they're all great people, trustworthy people. But people can have personality clashes. You can have the 2 greatest people on earth, and they can have a clash.
Yeah.
That can happen. And it's not to, downgrade the person. I mean, it's just sometimes the chemistry doesn't work.
Sure.
So how would you advise people, Jamie, if they're remodeling and there's someone in the house working in there that they just don't feel comfortable with? What would your advice be to them?
Well, I think it depends a little bit on the establishment that they're working with. So if it's a company that's like ours, where it's really large, depending on how involved those 2 people need to be, I think it's something that you could bring to the attention of somebody else. On all of our projects, we have a team of 3. As well as carpenters and plumbers and electricians and a lot of other players kind of in there. But you kind of have your main 3. And I think if you've been working with your design consultant and your interior designer all this way and had a great time and it's been so fun and you've had a good rapport, and then for whatever reason you clash maybe with your project manager and just can't seem to mesh, I think bringing it up to your interior designer or someone else that you do have really good rapport with and kind of knows you and knows that it's maybe not you trying to be difficult or whatever the case. Going to someone that you have that rapport with to say, they're a nice person, but I just can't seem to get on the same page, and just having that open conversation. And maybe there's a change that can be made. Maybe there's a conversation that can be had. But I think if it's a large company like ours that has kind of options, maybe those are worth exploring. If it's not, I don't know why you picked them, but, I don't know if it's just one person. Hopefully you felt that whatever tension prior to starting the project. But I think addressing it with somebody that you do have good rapport with is probably the best place to start. Yeah,
because we realize this is our client's home. It's their castle. They're the ones that set the rules, not us. Now we have some guidelines that we have to have them, work with us on. But we respect their privacy very much and their opinions. And just a very small handful of times have we had that kind of a scenario. And in most cases, we've, like you mentioned, just been able to slide somebody else into that position. And, it's not that it's anything against a person, but just sometimes those things come up. But that's something you may encounter.
Yeah.
So, we've covered a lot. We didn't really talk about room additions at all, which are a big project. And we're just have a few minutes to do that.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Oh,
we can kind of go a little bit more in depth with kind of the room addition prep and basements and things like that, the bigger areas of the home. Because, sometimes with the larger remodels and having to, almost all these remodels, especially with a kitchen, room addition, all those, you're needing to move not just your stuff, but your furniture.
Yeah.
And kind of who does that? How do they do it? Where does it go? Or even a lot of times clients that are maybe renovating their kitchen, they just kind of want to redecorate their house. So maybe they're getting all new everything. And, we donate a lot of our materials to Habitat for Humanity Restore. And we can kind of talk through some of those options and things that you can do with all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So today it's been a great topic. It's what can you do to prepare for a major remodel? And it's important because it's a life-changing event, and it's a lengthy event in most cases. And it's weeks, months.
Yeah.
And we've kind of become part of the family during that time. So, sorry about that, but most people actually love our people. They really miss them when they leave.
Yeah, especially the pets.
The pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But... just some tips on getting through that. I do want to say that if you haven't been through a major remodel, you need to go into it with eyes wide open because it is something that takes some pre-planning and some professional advice. I highly recommend to get through it and manage it because it's going to be a strain on your whole family. But in the end, the result, believe me, will be so worth it. And the family will love it for many years. You just will never regret it. So, again, if you want to listen to any of our previously broadcast shows, you can go to davefoxradio.com. We have everything listed there. Our website, davefox.com, has tons of information there, a lot of great pictures, good information. We'll be back next Sunday morning at 8.